Good evening, everyone, and welcome to high school baseball here on 18 WJTS. I'm Kurt Gooksell. Be joined by Scott Salmon in a bit tonight. The 18-3 Jasper Wildcats will entertain the 12-4 Southridge Raiders. Jasper comes in after a 2-1 8-inning win over Lincoln on Wednesday night here at Rookser Field. The Raiders come in after a 7-3 win on the road at Tell City last night. Chase Taylor, the sophomore right-hander, will go for Southridge. Trevor Croft, the senior right-hander, for Jasper. Raiders and Wildcats coming up next on 18 WJTS. To Rookser Field, Kurt Gooksell, Scott Salmon, Jeremy Marcos high atop Rookser Field with our video. Again, this game will air tonight at 10 on 18 WJTS as well here on WBDC and WBDC.US. Croft, again, the right-hander, gets ready to go to work here at Rookser Field. He'll be backed by Isaac Bartley, and left in center field, Eli Hof. And right field for the Wildcats will be Jacob Albrand. At third base, Carter Stamm. At shortstop will be Josh Weidenbender. At second, Grant Albrand. At first, Andrew Wallace. Behind the plate, Ross Peter. Southridge will bat this way, leading off in center, Tucker Shank. Camden Gasser bats second at third. Colson Montgomery, the shortstop, in the 3-hole. Chase Taylor cleans up, pitching. Ethan Bell will bat fifth and left. Connor Oxley behind the plate will bat sixth. Kyler Nykum is the first baseman, but Court Gerber will hit for him in the 7-hole. Joe LaGrange bats eighth and right, and Carter Whitehead is the second baseman for Gene Mattingly and the Southridge Raiders.
We're just moments away here as Tucker Shank going to dig on in here as first pitch. What time we at here?
So the Raiders, the visitors, Gene Mattingly on the coaching line at third, Brian Craig over at first, and we'll have baseball forthcoming. The third baseman, Stamm, will come in on the grass, and we are right on time, 6 o'clock, and the first pitch hits Tucker Shank, and he goes to first base on the hit by pitch. Game time temperature, 62 degrees this afternoon and evening. So right off the bat, the Raiders have a base runner, and that was one of the keys Terry Gilbert talked to his team about, is keeping Shank off the bases, and that's not going to happen, at least here in the first inning.
Well, again, Southridge got a lot of speed in the top of that lineup.
Gasser stands in, open at the plate. Here's the next pitch, inside 1-0. Raiders in their red Chicago White Sox tops with the gray pants, red helmets, black socks with the red stripes. Wildcats in pinstripes with black hats. The 1-0 to Gasser from Croft. Strike right down central, and it's 1-1 to the Raider third baseman, Camden Gasser.
Well, Raiders had their struggles last night, got picked off twice at first base.
By a right-hander, which was really weird. 1-1. Stamm in on the grass at third. Here's the pitch. Shank takes off, ring, little bunt and run. Ball's going to get down. Stamm on his knees, throws from his knees. Ball gets away down the right field line. It's going to be first and third. The ball was popped up, and usually that's not a good bunt, but Stamm went to his knees and then tried to throw from his knees, and the runner, the ball, and the first baseman were right around there at the same time. Right. And it's first and third as the ball trickled away.
And Camden Gasser made the right decision. He was going to try to advance to second base, but thought better of it, as coming in there from right field was Jacob Albrand.
So here comes Colson Montgomery. He hit a solo homer as they throw over to first base, chase back the runner. That was in the third inning. He also had another hit. Wildcats play him straight away in the outfield. Montgomery, another left-handed hitter in that lineup. Croft brings it. It's a fastball, misses high and inside. 1-0 to Colson. On deck, Chase Taylor. Raiders with some action here in the early going. Here's the pitch from Croft. Low, back of the screen, and that will plate the first run of the game. The Raiders lead 1-0 on the wild pitch.
Oh, it didn't take long. You know, walks can kill you in a ball game, and there with that leadoff hit by a pitch, and that runner scores.
Most definitely, and the Raiders jump out 1-0. Now Montgomery with the runner now in scoring position. Gasser as he moves up to second base. So Colson with a 2-0 count. Big left-handed hitter. Croft will throw it. Back. deep into right field, twisting foul, and it is foul ball. Man, he hit that ball out of Rookser Field with some pop on it.
You know, that was reminiscent of last night, the shot that he took at Tell City and drove it, but that one stayed fair, so mercy.
That's about as big as reaction of a foul ball that you're ever going to get. Couldn't keep it fair, though. He hooked it down the line. 2-1, just a loud strike. Gasser at second. They jockey in behind him. Breaking ball misses, and it's 3-1. 1-0 Raiders here in the top of the first. It's a parking lot full of cars about 375 feet away. 3-1 to Montgomery here. Croft checks the runner and comes home. Ball 4. So an inauspicious start for the Jasper right-hander Trevor Croft, and that'll bring up Chase Taylor, now the pitcher.
And he, too, had a 3-run bomb last night to really propel the Raiders to that clinching victory there over Tell City.
Stom pitched the other night, the Wildcat ace, 8 innings of 3-hit, 1-run baseball against the Alices in that big conference game. So it's Croft's turn tonight, first and second. Cats have the double play in order. Taylor pops it up straight back, and it is 0-1. I think Coach Gilbert wants to see what Croft can do in a big game atmosphere and kind of like see if Southridge may need Chase Taylor down the line, giving him an atmosphere type of start tonight on the hill. Here's the 0-1. Curveball in for a strike, and right away the Wildcat bullpen with Cam Killian gets up and running down the right field line. Nobody out. Raider runners at first and second. Croft will come to the ready and pour the next pitch plateward. Another hammer in for strike 3. Good pitch.
Yeah, it's a great pitch. Great off speed right there. And punch him out for Croft.
So Ethan Bell stands in. He had a 2-hit game last night with a double down at Tell City. Raiders lead 1-0 here in the top of the first. Croft brings it home. Taylor pops it up. Cats should be able to handle this one. Croft on the mound calls for it and will grab it for the second out of the inning. So still first and second. If Trevor can get out of this with just 1 run scored, he would probably consider himself fortunate.
Oh, most definitely after the start.
But that'll bring up Connor Oxley doing the catching tonight. He's off with the shin guards, and he'll be standing in this baseball game tonight, brought to you by B&A Construction and Design on Highway 64 west of Huntingburg. Any kind of construction project, stop by B&A Construction and Design. So first and second with 2 outs for Connor Oxley. Raiders lead 1-0. Croft will come to the high set with the runners on the bases. They jockey in behind him momentarily, and he turns it loose. Fastball misses inside, and the count is 1-0. Raiders occupy the third base dugout. We've got a nice crowd. Friday night games, no matter who the Raiders or Jasper playing on their respective home dates, is a big game. But crowd-wise, this one hit on the ground to Stom. He'll run it right to the bag for a fielder's choice for Oxley. Raiders strike first after a half. They lead Jasper 1-0. We'll take a break, and we'll come back after this. Welcome back to Rookser Field. Chase Taylor climbs the mound. Raiders with a 1-0 lead over the Wildcats here. Ethan Bell's out in left and center field. Tucker Shank in right field. Joe LaGrange. Camden Gasser plays third. Colson Montgomery at short. Carter Whitehead is the second baseman. Kyler Nykum at first. And behind the plate is the catcher, Connor Oxley, catching Taylor. It'll be Josh Weidenbender, Eli Hofe, and Trevor Croft, 1, 2, and 3 in Terry Gobert's order here against Taylor.
Well, that's kind of been the norm for Southridge all season long. When Taylor does pitch, they kind of flip-flop. Connor Oxley goes to the catcher's position, and that is the case here today.
Again, Taylor usually is the guy behind the plate, but getting a start tonight as we expect a few pitchers for the Raiders to go. If Taylor is going well, maybe not, but we could see some guys parade to the mound tonight. Throw goes down to second base, and we are ready to roll here.
We'll lead it off with Josh Weidenbender.
So Weidenbender gets in. Left-handed batter. Cats is a team at 297. Raiders spread the pitching out last night with Gerber, Allen, and Niehaus. Third baseman Gasser comes in on the grass. First pitch is out of the zone, 1-0. Will be paramount that Chase Taylor throws strikes. And they can't afford to have wildness. Croft was bit by that a little bit in the top half of the first. Pitch is out of the zone, 2-0.
Yeah, early on in the season here, Chase has been prone to that, so hopefully you can keep it clean here tonight.
Next pitch on the way. Catches the outside corner, and it's 2-1. Fans continue to trickle in here at the yard. Taylor works quickly, the 2-1 to Weidenbender, and it's outside and high. 3-1. Raiders 1 and the Wildcats nothing. Taylor throws the 3-1. Walked him on 5 pitches. So the Raiders took advantage of a hit batsman. Wildcats have their leadoff man on with the walk, and that'll bring up Eli Hope. So Hope will climb in. Right-handed batter plays center field. Good bunter. See if they want to move the guy up to second base. And he bunts right through it and fouls it off. It was a bad pitch. He tried to jab at it.
Yep, it was a little on the high side and in.
0-1 with nobody out and a runner aboard. Raiders 1, Wildcats nothing. Slight breeze out toward right center field. Play Hope straight away in the outfield. Taylor works from the stretch and comes home. Ball bunted foul again. And Hope down in the count 0-2. Trevor Croft and Andrew Wallace, the two best Wildcat hitters in the on-deck circle average-wise. So a runner still at first, Weidenbender. They hold him on with Nykem. Here comes the pitch. Low. And it's 1-2.
I'll tell you, as always, this field looks tremendous.
Yeah, the players, if I had all the time that those players work on this field, they need to come into my yard. Get that straightened out. 1-2 with nobody out. Throw over. Shane Werner takes the lead in that, and he spends countless hours on it. And, of course, the coach has a lot to do with it as well. Between Shane and coach, they get it done. Here's the next pitch. Fouled off. He struck him out.
Well, couldn't get the bunt down, and unsuccessful there. So that's the first strikeout for Taylor.
That'll bring Croft to the plate. He leads the team in home runs with 4, 20 knocked in. Raiders lead 1-0. Still a runner at first base. That's Josh Weidenbender here against Taylor. Cam Killian done in the Wildcat bullpen since Croft got out of that jam. Pitch is low, 1-0. So with 1 out, Croft at the plate. Raider infield back up the middle with Whitehead and Colson Montgomery. Again, they play Croft straight away, and Evan Bell is about as deep as you can get out in left field. The next pitch pouring plateward. Croft sprays it foul, first base side.
I'm so glad that the shift has not reached the high school level yet.
Yeah, they'll play their outfielders
crazy.
a little bit into the gaps that certain teams will based on scouting, but you're right. They don't have the data that they do in the major leagues. But you know what? Guys hitting that shift, and that's why they do it.
Yep.
They've got it scouted well. The 1-1 curveball misses. Pretty good pitch by Taylor. He kind of wanted it.
Yep.
Again, Raiders have a huge crowd tonight. Jasper, a huge crowd. So I just would think these two teams should just play like every Friday night. You'd have the same crowd every Friday night and throw out some of the bad games you play. The 2-1, that is outside, 3-1.
Well, I just told somebody before the airing, I just love to see the home and away series.
Yeah, just on
in high school,
Fridays, yeah.
For local. I mean, I think eventually it will happen. It's got to.
3-1 here to Croft, big right-handed hitter, and they nearly throw the ball away. Kyler Nykem had to reach up with some reaction and pull it down.
Yeah, that was a big play there by Nykem just to save that, because he's probably running to third base now.
Yeah, anything back to that fence, it's a first to third deal. So Croft ahead in the count. You don't want to get behind to this power hitter. Here's the pitch from Taylor. Croft pops it up left center field, and Shank will camp underneath it and make the catch. 2 gone. Popped it up, got underneath it just a tad, and Shank able to haul it in. And here comes Wallace, a .396 hitter, is a sophomore, good left-handed hitter. 1-0 Raiders. As the leadoff man got on, but Taylor has retired the next 2. So Andrew, they still hold the runner on. They throw over, and there it goes. And Weidenbender will be at second base. He's going to round second, and just like that, as we said, he'll be at third. You can't afford to miss on that pickoff throw. We saw it last night at Tell City. A lot of these ballparks, it's a long way from the base to the fence.
Exactly right.
And try making a throw from the fence all the way to third base, and you're in trouble.
Yeah, you're almost automatic.
That's if you go and get the ball in time.
Almost automatic. You're going to go first to third on that because of that fact. And Taylor just needs to calm down a little bit. He had 2 outs and needed to really just.
I think a lot of times these pitchers, they worry too much about base runners and not enough about the batter. And now Wallace at the plate. Raiders scored their run on a pass ball wild pitch situation. Cats threatening to do that very same thing. Here's the pitch to Wallace. Pumped in at the knees for a strike. 0-1. Weidenbender, the runner at third. He's got good speed. The decent amount of area between the plate and the backstop. Sometimes you'll get a good carom off the padding, sometimes not.
Right.
The kick in the deal from Taylor. Barely missed with a fastball outside portion, and the count squares at 1-1.
Oh, we see that at League Stadium too. They got that concrete block back there, and I've seen them, bounce all the way back to the catcher after it hits.
Big gap in left center field for Wallace. They play him to pull in the outfield. Here's the pitch from Taylor, shoves it outside. 1-0 Raiders here in the home first from Rookser Field.
The dangerous Carter Stamm waits in the circle.
2-1. The kick in the deal from Chase. Out.
Runs the count to 3-1 now.
So Taylor behind in the count. He got behind to Croft and came back and lived to tell about it. See what he does here with Wallace. Walked him. Runners are on the corner. Second walk of the inning for Chase Taylor.
Yeah, and then again, Taylor could be on kind of a short leash for Coach Mattingly, as he pitched a few days ago, so it hasn't been that long.
Yeah, threw in the Heritage Hills game, which the Raiders won 6-3, and you'd expect him to have to catch a lot tomorrow.
Right.
May split that up between he and Oxley in a doubleheader situation. So Stamm gets in. Pitch catches the outside corner, 0-1. 1-0 Southridge. Cats batting in the bottom of the first inning. Wallace, the runner at first. Cats have a runner at third, too, so you want to be cognizant maybe of a first and third play. Or the guy at first just takes off. Taylor comes to the stretch. Here's the pitch, and it's low. 2 down here. Wildcats at the plate here. Stamm spun that gem against Lincoln, asked to go the whole way, 8 innings of 3-hit baseball. And Cardinal pitched well for the Alices in that game. Pitched low, dug out by Oxley, and it's 2-1. Stamm had 2 hits against the Alices on Wednesday night. 8 innings of baseball out here.
That's a lot.
But it was really quick because both pitchers played well. No errors in the game. The 2-1 here to Carter. Low, and he's behind now, 3-1. Can't make Joe Keish happy in the Raider dugout, getting behind to these guys. Isaac Bartley on deck. 1-0 Raiders, the tying run at third with 2 outs. The pitch to Stamm. Walked him, and the bases are full of Wildcats, all via the base on balls. And Gene Mattingly's going to go out to the mound and talk to his sophomore right-hander here. With Bartley at the plate. And he wants Oxley out there to talk it over as well.
Well, and we seen last night the ball game that we did that Cam Gasser kind of came out of that game early, so he could be a possibility of coming in if Gene decides to go that route here in the early going.
So Bartlett will be the hitter after the timeout. This baseball game brought to you by the good people at German American Bank. A strong team works toward one common goal. When you need strong financial team to help you reach your dreams and goals, contact the financial pros at German American Bank, banking, insurance, and investments. So Bartlett climbs in. Bases full of Wildcats here in the bottom of the first. 1-0 Raiders. Taylor trying to wiggle out here. He has walked the bases loaded. Taylor works out of the full windup. Gasser even with the bag at third and off the line. Here's the pitch, and it's inside.
Nearly hit him.
Bartlett, and these guys in this day and age, they don't take hit by pitches. They jump out of the way, and it drives their coaches nuts. I mean, you don't try to get hit, but if it's inside, wear it. The 1-0 outside, and it's 2-0.
Taylor's not even close here in the last two pitches, and then the batter prior to.
2-0, 2 away, bases full. Raiders lead 1-0, the kick and the deal to Bartlett. Out of the zone, it's 3-0.
This could be his last batter here if he walks this one in. I know it's just the first, but.
Just gifts. I mean, there's no defense for walks and hit batsmen. The 3-0. Walked in a run, and the Wildcats have drawn even 1-1 here. So Weidenbender comes in to score. Wallace the third, Stamm the second, and Bartlett with the easiest RBI he will get all season. So 4 walks, 3 straight here. And Grant Albrand stands in. He won it the other night with the base hit through the drawn-in infield in the bottom of the 8th inning. And then he sees a strike on the outside corner. It's 0-1. 1-1 our game. Bottom of the first here from Alvin C. Rooksor Field. Glad you could join us here on WBDC and worldwide on WBDC.us. The pitch to Grant Albrand from Taylor. That is in for a strike as well on the outside corner. And Taylor, like that, now 1 pitch away from getting out without any further damage. Runner at third takes his lead down the line. That's Andrew Wallace, the pitch. Breaking ball gets away from Oxley. He can't find it, and that's going to be a run. 2-1 Wildcats on the wild pitch. And everybody moves up now. He blocked the ball straight up in the air, and by that time, with 2 outs, the runner getting a good walking lead, you're going to score more often than not, and that's what happened.
Right.
So, again, that's what walks do to you. 2 already have scored here, and now it's second and third for Albrand in a 1-2 count. 2-1 Jasper. The pause and the pitch. Albrand chops at the first base, and they don't run to go cover first, but Nykum able to beat the man to the bag. Taylor was kind of sleeping there, and Nykum was able to run it to the bag. 2-1 Jasper after 1. We'll take a break. We'll have more high school baseball after this. Field play goes to the top half of the second inning. 2-1 Jasper. They score and answer Southridge's 1 run with 2 of their own. You look up on the scoreboard, we've got 3 runs on the board between the 2 teams and just 1 hit.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, Jasper just took advantage of everything that was the gifts that were given to him in that first inning.
So Croft now takes the lead to the mound. First pitch to Court Gerber. He slams it into left field for a base hit. Goes the other way, and just like last inning, the Raiders have their leadoff man aboard. Second hit of the game for Southridge, and that will bring up Joe LaGrange.
Batting for the Southridge Raiders, the right fielder, Joe LaGrange.
So Joe LaGrange steps in. Another left-handed hitter in that Raider stable. Ethan Bell going to work in the Raider bullpen. Earlier, Cam Killian was throwing in the Wildcat bully. Runner at first base. LaGrange bunts it down the first base line. It's a good bunt. Croft will have to pick it up, and he'll throw on and beat the runner to the bag with that throw, and the sacrifice successful.
Yeah, it was a nice bunt by LaGrange here, just really deadened there right in the grass. But Croft was able to get over there and get that out.
And everybody out of the dugout to give Joe LaGrange a high five after doing his job, and that'll bring up Carter Whitehead, the freshman second baseman. Tying run at second, 1 gone here in the top of the second inning. Wildcats 2, Raiders 1. Croft will bring the first pitch plateward, and it's a strike at the knees right down the middle, and it's 0-1. So play wide head off the line and shallow in center field. Raiders bat here in the top of 2. Croft checks the runner and comes home. Low, blocked by Peter in the dirt. And the count squares at 1-1. Here's the next pitch. This one hit on the ground towards short. Weidenbender gloves, throws to first base. Runner takes off towards third. Here's the play, and he is gone. Double play. Raiders run themselves out of this inning. He had to go back to the base, which was a good play on his part, but then tested the arm of Wallace, and Wallace gunned him down. So the Raiders done here in the top of the second. We'll go to the bottom of the second. 2-1 Jasper. We'll have more after this. Back to Rookser Field as we head to the bottom of the second inning out here. Wildcats 2, Raiders 1. Raiders try to run the bases aggressively. The Wildcats made a good play on it, and that will send to the Cats to the plate here as Jacob Allbrand will stand in.
Yeah, very alert was Wallace there after he got the play at first base, threw it hard over third, and Gerber was a goner.
So 8, 9, and 1 in the lineup for the Wildcats as Jacob Allbrand stands in to face Taylor, who walked 4 in the first inning. Now he hit a batter. So a hit by pitch here to go along with the walks, and Bell has stopped throwing since he's now out in left field, so it'll be an easy change here. Noblet will stand in, runner at first.
Yeah, Wildcats still looking for their first hit.
Gasser charges in at third, expecting Noblet to bunt, and he throws it over his head, gets by Oxley, but the Wildcats not able to move up, or they didn't run right away. And it's 1-0.
Yeah, I think Gene's going to make the switch right now.
Gene off with the hat. He's going to go out to the mound, and I believe this may be it for Taylor here. Yes, it will be. The Raiders call to the bullpen here as Taylor will go to the bench. We'll see if he comes back in to catch or not. It'll be Ethan Bell on the hill. We'll take a break. Wildcats up 2-1 here. We'll come back to Alvin C. Rookser Field right after this. The yard, Gene Mattingly called to the bullpen. It's the end of the line for Chase Taylor as Ethan Bell, the sophomore right-hander, will come into the game. After 1 inning for Taylor, 2 runs, did not give up a hit, walked 4, hit a batter, struck out 1. As Bell will do the pitching here. Jack Gasser will go into play left field.
Bell has not pitched for a while. I mean, he last pitched a couple innings in that Heritage Hills game to close it out, but that has been it since.
To left for the Southridge Raiders. Again, stepping in for the Jasper Wildcats, the designated hitter, Philip Noblet.
So Noblet will be up there with a 1-0 count. Oxley stays behind the plate. Gasser will come in on the grass once again, 1-0. Bell works out of the stretch with Jacob Allbrand, the runner at first. And we're ready to roll, and Bell slings one over there, and it's Allbrand going back to the bag. One and 0. Noblet, again, squared to bunt earlier. He's going to bunt again. Ball backhanded by Oxley. It's 2-0. Bell trying to get loose. He had been out in left field. Wildcats have taken advantage of the 4 walks and the hit batsman so far, leading 2-1 without a hit. Bell throws it. Noblet bunts it right back to the pitcher, and that's all they'll get is the runner Allbrand did a nice job of freezing on the line drive.
Yeah, it is quite a crazy line score here early in the ball game, but again, as you said, the Cats have just taken advantage of everything that has been given to them here thus far.
Here's Weidenbender. He walked and scored. Tried to pick him off, and that's where all the fun started, on a throwing error down the right field line. or they tried to pick somebody up when he was
Right.
on base. And he got the third. It's 0-1 now to Weidenbender. Eli Hof on deck, one away here. Raiders down 2-1 to Jasper. Weidenbender, 338 hitter, no home runs, and 15 knocked in. Here's the pitch from Ethan. Shoves it outside. He runs it up there in a pretty good speed, and it's 1-1. Again, a good tournament-like crowd on here at Rooksor Field. Here's the next pitch from Bell. Weidenbender slashes it foul, straight back, and out of play.
I think 6 o'clock, kind of an early start. They're still just coming in yet. A lot of people coming into the ball game.
Just wish it was a little warmer, but
yeah,
at least it's not raining, right?
Yeah, exactly.
1-2 to Weidenbender. Allbrand, the runner at first with one away. Bell brings it home. This one again fouls back. Allbrand retreats back. New baseball out for Ethan Bell. Terry Gilbert on the coaching line at third, now in his 32nd year at the helm. Got win number 800 the other night. Jason Allbrand over at first on the coaching line. The 1-2. Weidenbender again stays alive.
Just got a piece of it, but
Fouls it off.
Yep.
Raiders have the double play possibility up the middle and around the horn, although Weidenbender with good wheels running from that left side. He's trying to fight off Bell. Ethan throws the 1-2. Weidenbender again sprays it foul. Out of play, third base side as Gasser went to give it a look. He'll get a baseball that was fouled off a couple of pitches ago.
That's one thing. High school, they use their baseballs, not like the major leagues where they throw them out to every other one.
That's right. Ethan Bell, the 1-2 to Weidenbender. Fastball misses outside. So the count squares at 2-2. Might be an action pitch. Allbrand may be traveling here. We'll see. Nycombe continues to hold him on. Bell with a 2-2 count. Long hold. Here's the pitch. Weidenbender back into right field. LaGrange will drift back, make the catch. Weidenbender hit it right on the screws, but right to Joe LaGrange. 2 away.
Stepping in for Jasper.
And Eli Hof will be the hitter.
Number 11, Eli Hof.
Joe drew a good beat on that ball.
Yes, he did. Hof Cade his first time up.
So a runner at first, Jasper 2, Raiders 1 here in the bottom half of the second inning. Glad you could join us here on WBDC and WBDC.us. Kurt Guxel, Scott Salmon, Jeremy Marcos, high atop Rooksor Field for our video on 18 WJTS. Hof fouls it back in the glove of Oxley. This game will air tonight at 10 on WJTS. Kelly Johnson back at the command center. The baseball season, regular season-wise, ends next week as they throw over. Back is Allbrand.
That just shows you we just had so much already here in the first 2 innings. As this is Hof's second trip to the plate already, and we're in the bottom of the second.
Struck out earlier, first time facing Bell. Strike at the knees, and it's 0-2.
And a lot of walks in that first inning and some of the second.
Play him straight away in the outfield. The pause by Bell, and he comes home. Misses outside half with a strike.
Yeah, Bell definitely wanted that edge of the corner there, did not get it.
One and two, Allbrand, the runner at first. Bell comes to a high set and pushes the 1-2 plateward. Hof loops it into shallow right field, but right at Joe LaGrange. He catches the ball for the third out of the inning. Wildcats get their leadoff man aboard on the hit by pitch. Nothing doing. We have played through 2. Jasper 2, Southridge 1. We'll step aside and we'll have more after this. Out at Alvin C. Rooksor Field, 2-1 Wildcats as we head to the top of the third inning. It'll be Tucker Shank, Camden Gasser, and Colson Montgomery, the scheduled hitters in Dave Shank's lineup here. Or Gene Mattingly's lineup, I should say, is Tucker Shank, who was hit by a pitch, came around to score the lone run of the game.
Yeah, all three that you just mentioned there got on board in that first inning of play, resulting in the first run of the night.
Shank was hit with the very first pitch of the game First pitch to Tucker, this time down the right field line. That's going to go for extra bases. Shank rounds first base. Allbrand goes to cut it off, and Tucker jogs into second base with a leadoff double.
Yeah, sharp hit by Tucker Shank down that first base line, and with his speed, it was a no-brainer and a given that he was going to get 2 on that.
So here comes Camden Gasser with the runner at second base to lead off the inning. Gasser popped the ball up, it hit the ground, and Stamm tried to throw from his knees. It got away for a throwing error. Gasser sprays it down the left field line, twisting away from Bartley, and it lands in foul territory near the bullpen of the Raiders. 0-1. So we play here in the top of the third. Raiders have out hit the Cats 3-0, but the Cats enjoy a 2-1 lead on the scoreboard. Gasser open stance at the plate from the left side. Croft will get ready to work and pours it plateward. High fastball misses, and it's 1-1. They check Shank at second. Here's the pitch. Gasser, line drive, left center field. It'll get down. Shank will round third. They're going to give him the green light. Here comes the throw back in. It is cut, and it's a 2-2 ball game on the base hit by Camden Gasser. He scoots up the second when the throw came through.
No, I was not going to get Tucker there. That was a good play there to go ahead and cut that off by Croft to keep Gasser to at least that double.
So we are tied at 2. Runner at second, nobody out for Montgomery, who his last time up drew a walk after hitting a long, loud foul ball down the right field line that garnered some oohs and ahs. They bluff a throw back to second. We're tied at 2. Raiders' 4th hit of the night as Gasser drove in the run. So Montgomery, he's slightly open the plate, hands back. Here's the pitch, curve ball, low 1-0. So Montgomery has that right side as they play him to pull. Big gap, though, in left center. Hof way in the gap. Here's the pitch to Colson, breaking ball, strike.
Yeah, pretty pitch there by Croft. And it evens the count at 1-1.
1-1 the count. Nobody out, Montgomery. Looks, and Croft throws it. Curve ball high.
Well, Montgomery walked his last trip up.
Taylor on deck. He's going to come back into the game as a hitter. Croft throws it way outside. 3-1. So we're tied at 2. Shank got on with the double. Gasser followed with a single to left center, went up to second on the throw. Tied at 2, Montgomery in a hitter's count, 3-1. If Croft brings it anywhere near the plate, he'll be swinging. Croft, a long pause, and rips it home. Ball 4, and they walk Colson Montgomery.
Well, twice now. Not give Colson Montgomery his first 2 trips anything to look at. So now, still a dangerous hitter for the Raiders and Chase Taylor.
First and second, Wildcat infield going to come in. They're going to talk about it. They've got the double play in order. Got a force out at every base as well as Taylor comes back in to hit. Two-two, top of the third. 2 good baseball teams locking horns here at Rookser Field. Glad you could join us on this Friday night. Croft will have Taylor stand in. Chase, a strikeout victim, looking back in the first. Trevor peeks out at Gasser. They go in behind him momentarily. First pitch, Taylor hits it on the ground into left field for a base hit. That's going to drive in a run. As Gasser rounds third, it's 3-2 Raiders on the RBI single. The left from Chase Taylor. He ambushed the first pitch there.
Yeah, just got that first pitch and then drove it there on that left side. And the Raiders, again, regain the lead.
So the 5th hit of the game will bring Ethan Bell to the plate. He popped out in front of the mound. Croft took care of it earlier. Still nobody out. First and second for the Raiders. 3-2 Southridge, 5 runs on the board between the two teams. In for maybe a slugfest tonight, who knows? Bell tries to bunt, pulls the bat back, takes a good breaking ball for a strike from Croft, 0-1. Stamm will have to figure out what he wants to do at third here with the runner out at second base. That's Montgomery, something that's bunted in front of him. Third base will be uncovered. Curveball, but Montgomery's got to run anyway. It's first and second. So it goes low, and it's 1-1. Again, nice night. Flags blowing slightly toward right center field, just barely, though. Croft with a 1-1 count to Bell. They throw in behind the runner at second base. It's into center field. Montgomery thought about going up, but that ball was thrown so hard. Hope was right there.
Yeah, he's going to get third base there.
Obstruction.
Yep.
I think a guy got in front of him there as he turned to run right away.
Right.
And now Gene Magnan wants to know, does the other guy get a move up from first to second? I couldn't tell if it was Weidenbender that got, or was it Allbrand, somebody that was. I thought it looked weird at the beginning why Colson couldn't move up right away, but then the ball was thrown so hard it got to Hof in a hurry.
And that's what the talk is right now. They're going to talk to see if Taylor can move up to second.
Wildcat bullpen up and running again. Cam Killian was up earlier. I don't know if that's Cam or not right now. They don't have numbers on the front of their shirt, it looks like.
So that was obstruction of justice or what?
Yeah, he was obstruction, and I think they're just going to say that guy was the only one obstructed, and you can't assume that the other guy would go up to second base. So Bell now with runners on the corners and nobody out. 2 across here for the Raiders in the top of the third. Here's the pitch from Croft. This one hit on the ground, could be 2. Weidenbender's going to come home. Throw is low, and it gets away for Peter back to the screen, and everybody's going to be able to move up. Weidenbender had a perfect double play ball, but he elected to come home. May have had him smoked if the throw is good, but it was not. It was low, and it's 4-2 with runners at second and third. Southridge on a error by the Wildcats.
Had to play at first base, but he really thought he could get the play at home and kind of bounced it there. And another run for Southridge.
So a fielder's choice as he elected to go home with it, but the throw was low. And Terry Gobert out. He's not happy with his guys. They kind of kicking it around a little bit and not playing sound baseball as Patrick Sander will go out and run for Ethan Bell, the pitcher, at second base.
Smart play by Coach Mattingly there to do that, give a little rest there for his pitcher.
So it's 4-2 Raiders, still nobody out, second and third here.
And Connor Oxley, a good contact hitter. With nobody out, could be a big inning for the Raiders here. It already is.
Again, they possibly had the double play ball. They wanted to cut the runner off at home, but the throw was low. It would have been a bang-bang play anyway. Wildcat infield in with Oxley at the plate here. Raiders lead 4-2. Oxley works against Croft. Curveball, good one. Strike one from Trevor, 0-1.
Croft has had that curveball working to perfection here.
Taylor at third, Sander at second. Oxley at the plate. Here's the pitch. This one ripped into the left center field gap, and it's going to go for extra bases. Oxley up against the wall with that one. Taylor will score. Here comes Sander, and a 2-run double as Oxley hammered it to the boards in left center field.
Well, he kind of get a little redemption there. He was 0 for 2, a couple strikeouts last night, and he really made amends right there with that big 2-run double.
So it is 6-2 Raiders, a 5 spot here, and Hunefeld's going to go out and run now for your catcher in the courtesy running situation. 6 hits for the Raiders and still nobody out and a runner at second. And Court Gerber will stand in.
He's got a single already tonight.
Well, Croft looking to get just an out here and take care of the Raiders. Gerber waits. Curveball in for a strike. Raiders have struck gold here in the top of the third, a 5 spot. Trevor Croft looks in. Now Gerber's going to square to bunt, bunts it out in front of the mound. Croft will field it, throw on to first base. Got him. Sacrifice successful with 1 out. The runner, Hunefeld, goes up to third. 1 away. for Joe LaGrange, who had a sacrifice bunt earlier. He lays that bunt down the first baseline this time. They probably chase home a run in a safety squeeze situation, but he'll also try to punch that ball somewhere as the infield comes in. He's got a good situation here. The averages go up when the infield's in unless you hit it right at somebody. Crawford throws it, curveball high.
Yeah, I mean, again, it isn't out of the realm of possibility they could do that. They got one of their speedsters there, one of their courtesy runners there at third base now.
1-0 to Joe. Croft straightens up and brings it home. LaGrange pops it up. That won't get it done.
Nope.
As Weidenbender will call for it at short and make the catch 2 away. So 2 gone for Whitehead, who
batting for Southridge. The second baseman, number 11.
Grounded out earlier, and then the Raiders tried to go first to third, or second to third on the throwback over to first, and that's how he hit into that double play that really wasn't a double play for him. Will go down as that as hit his at bat. Here's the pitch to Whitehead. This one corked foul over the Raider bullpen. 5 runs here in the top of the third for the Raiders. They lead 6-2 after Jasper had taken a 2-1 lead after 1. Top of the third inning. Wildcat bullpen dark now as Killian has ceased throwing. The 0-1 curveball. Good one from Croft, although it was up in the zone, it's 0-2. Whitehead trying to plate that runner from third. Big run out there. Whitehead ended the second. He doesn't want to end the third here. Croft throws it, curveball, chopped up the middle. Croft bounces off him. Albrand will try to field it, throw on to first base, and he throws it away. And it is 7-2. Ball bounced off Croft, and no harm done. The runner stayed at first on the throw by Grant.
Going to be a hit. Well, then, I don't know who put the error. I mean, there's no error.
Yeah, there's no error.
There's no error. They gave it an error, but it's not an error. It's a hit.
So,
because he didn't advance.
So here comes Tucker Shank. The inning continues, but another run across. So Shank led the inning off with a double. He's got a runner at first. And it's and Coach Gobert's going to come out. Raiders with a 6 spot here in this game, and they lead 7-2. Terry Gobert going to call to the bullpen. It's going to be Cam Killian. We'll take a break. We'll have more with the Raiders on top 7-2. We're back after this. It's the end of the line for Trevor Croft. He goes 2 2/3 of 7-run baseball. Gave up 7 hits, 2 walks, a strikeout, and a hit batsman. He'll give way to Cam Killian. Killian on the season comes into the action tonight at 4-0 with a 2.35 ERA. This is his 7th appearance as he inherits a base runner at first with 2 outs. The Raiders, again, just putting the ball in play, and Wildcats have had some tough defensive plays that they did not come up with and some really good timely hitting. It started with Shank, who's going to be at the plate now here with 2 outs. He doubled. Gasser singled, a walk. Taylor drove in a run with a single. Oxley drove in 2 with a 2-run double. And then Whitehead singled.
Well, Tucker Shank started this in the first innings. This is his 2nd trip here in the inning.
And he's got the runner at first base. 7-2 Raiders. A 6-run top of the third for the Southridge 9. Killian works from the stretch, brings it home. Shank tries to bunt and bunts it foul. So Whitehead at first base. Carter Stom goes to left field now. Wallace goes to third, and Croft will play first. Shank with 2 outs. Tried to drop down a bunt. Pulled one down the right field line to start this inning. Pops this one up. He reached for it. Croft over near the Wildcat bench, and it will be up against the netting, and Shank will get new life. He didn't take his best swing at that one. Cat bullpen is up and running right now. It's Isaac Bartley getting loose. 1-2 to the Raider center fielder, Tucker Shank. They play him the pole. Again, a huge gap in left center. Killian trying to shut the door. The 1-2. Breaking ball, and Shank twists this one foul down into Sarah's place. Heads up down there. 2 away. Runner will be off with the crack of the bat. Gasser's on deck. He would be next.
And Jacob Albrand playing really deep in that right field there. That's where Shank got his double last time.
The 1-2. Shank chops it on the ground toward Albrand at second. He'll scoop it up, throw on the run, and cut down Shank, who was just sprinting down the line like he usually does for the third out of the inning. But the Raiders strike for 6 here at the top of the third through 2.5. The Raiders 7, Wildcats 2. We'll have more after this. To Rookser Field, Ethan Bell back on the mound for his second inning of work here. Although, actually his third, he came in with nobody out in the second inning. Chase Taylor's going to go back to catch now for Southridge.
Yeah, Gerber in left field again.
7-2 Raiders. Trevor Croft to lead things off here for the Wildcats.
The Wildcats actually looking for their first hit of the game. Again, they benefited from, as we said, some walks and errors and such, and got 2 runs in that first inning. Benefit of no hits.
So Trevor stands in. Here's the first pitch from Bell, shoves it into the ground. It's the first time he'll face Croft, who flew out the center earlier. Bell works out of the full windup here. Here's the 1-0. Fastball pumped in for a strike. 1-1 to the hitter, Trevor Croft. It'll be Croft, Wallace, and Stamm. Middle portion, some meat of that order for the Cats here against Bell, working with a 5-run lead. This one misses low. Good pitch from Bell. 2-1. Here's the next offering. Croft hits it on the ground to third. Gasser cuts it off, steps and throws. Got him. It's going to be a tough play for Colson. He was shaded up the middle, and Gasser went and cut it off. Nice play.
Oh, he really showed his range right there, though, did Gasser, and made that play.
Oxley over at first base for the Southridge Raiders. Stepping into bat for the Jasper Wildcats, the third baseman.
So 1 away for Wallace. Oxley's going to go over and play first now. Keep his bat in the lineup with all these changes. Wallace walked and scored, a part of that 2-run first for the Cats, in which Taylor had 4 walks, and he's since given way to Ethan Bell.
3 in a row.
Yeah, with the bases loaded, walked in a run. Wallace, big left-handed hitter. Bell brings it home. Fouled off third base side. We are at May 10th, and there are blankets, winter hats, sweatshirts, and jackets in the stands. And welcome to Indiana weather. 1-1. Maybe 90 Monday. Here's the pitch to Wallace. Misses on the outside portion with a fastball. 2-1. Raiders 7, Wildcats 2 here in the bottom of the third inning from Alvin C. Rookser Field in Jasper. Wallace takes a low strike there. 2-2. Play him deep in the outfield. Wallace digs in. The kick and the deal. Missed with the breaking ball. And the count runs full at 3-2 to Wallace. The payoff pitch. Wallace hits it on the ground towards first. Oxley dives for it, can't come up with it. It's an infield base hit as he ranged well over towards his right.
That was good effort by Oxley. It might have been a close play had he was able to pick it up, but it kind of trickled out of the mitt, so it'll go down as a base hit. First hit for the Wildcats.
So Stamm walked earlier. He'll get in. Bell did break toward first base. So he'll work from the stretch here. So Stom will be a right-handed hitter. He takes the first pitch out of the zone for a ball, 1-0. Here a 5-run lead for the Raiders here. Play him straight away in the outfield. They hold the runner on with Oxley at first. Here's the pitch from Ethan. Ball hit wide of the bag at third, down near the Raider bullpen. And Gene Mattingly will jog out to get it. That's nervous energy right there. Usually a player will go get it and get his workout in for the evening. 1-1. Here's the pitch plateward. Ball popped into center. Tucker Shank will draw a beat on it and will make the play. Good to see Peyton Mattingly at the game tonight, the junior at Asbury University down near Lexington, Kentucky. So 2 away for Cam Killian now as he came into pitch. So his first at bat. 2 away, runner still at first base. Bell will come home. Fisted foul. That's got Judd all over it and bounces off the facade. Maybe front fence up there. Judd gets tested every once in a while, his fielding ability up there.
That's great. They got to keep him on his toes.
Likes his glove up there. The 0-1. Pop foul out of play. A little scary. That ball, if you ever try to catch one at a major league game, they have really a lot of spin on them. I mean, and you do that with a bare hand from like 200 feet away. Yeah. But that ball spins up on top of this roof pretty well, too. The 0-2, especially when you're not expecting it. That's outside 1-2. Every once in a while, we'll get a spinner into the press box here. It's hard, but it's possible. The 1-2. Killian struck out. Raiders give up a base runner here in the third. We played through 3, 7-2 Southridge over Jasper. We'll take a break. We'll have more high school baseball after this on WBDC and 18 WJTS. Back to Rookser Field here for the top of the fourth. Southridge 7, Jasper 2. Cam Killian on for his first full inning. Came in with a third of an inning in relief of Croft. So the book closed on Croft, 2 2/3. 7 runs, 7 hits, walked 2, struck out 1, and hit 1. He'll face Camden Gasser, Colson Montgomery, and Chase Taylor, 2, 3, and 4 in Gene Mattingly's order here. A lot of baseball to play here on a nice night. Friday night crowd is huge for Jasper Southridge this evening. Glad you could hang with us tonight if you could not make it out to the yard. So Gasser will get in. Left-handed hitter, first pitch to him. Fastball sails outside. 1-0. Next pitch, that catches the strike zone. Well, Gasser will be up there with the 1-1 count. He asked for time. He has that granted. Raiders a 6-run third. Last inning. Gasser waits. Killian straightens up on the Rookser Field mound and comes home. Pitch tad low. 2-1 now to the Raider third baseman, in for a strike. The break even now to Gasser. Chops it on the ground. Weidenbender will charge it short. Fields it on the grass. Guns Gasser out, 1 away. Again, Weidenbender makes that play really, really good. You'll be hard-pressed tonight in games all around the state of Indiana to find 2 better shortstops than Josh Weidenbender and Colson Montgomery on a single field.
I tend to agree with you.
And there might be some college games around the state that might not be able to claim that. Here comes Colson Montgomery. He has walked twice and scored once. This one sprayed foul, first base side. Our broadcasts are usually not filled with exaggerations like some, but that may not be too far out of the possibility there. So Montgomery steps back in, 0-1 the count to him with one away. And here's the kick in the deal. Breaking ball just a tad low, and it's 1-1 to the Raiders shortstop, Colson Montgomery. Asks for time, or just step back in. The 1-1 as he waves the batter out. Here's the pitch, and it's low. Chase Taylor on deck. He had an RBI single his last time up. So Colson ahead in the count 2-1. First time facing the righty Cam Killian. Peeks over the top of his glove and brings it home. Colson takes it low.
He's threatening to get walked for the third straight time here.
He's ahead in the count. He may be a guy that they don't want them to get beat by.
And that is the case.
Walks him, and Taylor will stand in. It's a benefit to those guys behind him. They are going to have, as they go throughout the tournament, have chances to pick up some RBIs if they can hit the baseball, and tonight they have. Taylor's gotten an RBI single, and Oxley behind him a 2 RBI base hit.
Yeah, a lot of firepower in this lineup offensively for Southridge.
7-2 Raiders on top. Here's the pitch, blocked nicely by Peter behind the plate. Cats have the double play in order with Weidenbender and Allbrand up the middle. Wallace at third. They throw over and chase Colson back to the bag. Montgomery steps off his lead. 1-0 to Chase Taylor, who started the game on the mound. Low, 2-0.
We talked about with Southridge, with Taylor early on, you know, the walks and what, you know, it's a dangerous thing sometimes. And here he is at 2-0 on his second batter.
Here's the pitch. Montgomery takes off. He shot it toward right field, and Gene Magley not happy with that. He thought that Colson had that stolen. He should have just stayed there and not swung at it. He had a huge jump. 2-1 now.
Well, had he kept it in play, though, it would have been probably first and third then. But yeah, he had a good jump on that.
So the count's 2-1 with one away. Montgomery will retreat back to first base. Taylor checks Coach Mangley on the coaching line at third. BC Brian Craig over at first. And Chase Taylor, the heavy-hitting catcher, gets back in. As Killian will throw over. Colson is back. The dive. 2-1. Killian will come to the belt. Slide step and bring it home. Taylor hammers it into left center field. That's going to split the outfielders. Montgomery round second. He'll be in at third. Play at second base, and he is gone. Taylor tried to get the extra base, and Allbrand stuck the tag right down at his foot. And Gene Magley is going to go out and perhaps talk to the base umpire there.
Well, that was a very, very close play right there. You don't have the review, of course, but again, it was bang, bang, that's for sure.
Raiders run the bases aggressively tonight, and both times Jasper's made the plays. They did a nice job of getting that ball back into the infield.
Yep, they did. Well, you know, you could hear it from up here. They were, you know, how many people were you hearing saying 2-2?
Right.
Where to go to, and they did a nice job right there. So that'll be 2 outs now for Southridge, and that'll bring up the pitcher, Ethan Bell.
So Montgomery at third. Taylor singled for his second hit of the night, but gunned out at second. Trying to go to second on the throw back in. Montgomery still at third. Here's the pitch to Ethan Bell. He takes it for a strike. He reached on a fielder's choice his previous plate appearance and also popped out to the pitcher. Killian trying to keep the Raiders off the board here. Pitch outside. Raiders lead 7-2 here in the top of the fourth inning from Alvin C. Rookser Field.
On deck is Connor Oxley. He had a big double there to knock in a few runs there in that third inning.
1-2, 7-2 Raiders. Here's the pitch from Killian. Good pitch outside corner, strike three. And the Raiders are done here in the top of the 4th inning. Killian gets his first strikeout through 3.5. Raiders 7, Wildcats 2. We'll take a break and we'll have more high school baseball after this on WBDC. Back to Rookser. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Raiders 7, Jasper 2. Grant Allbrand, Jacob Allbrand, and Philip Noblet, the bottom third of the Wildcat order here against Ethan Bell. In for his 3rd inning of work here. He came in the 2nd with nobody out in relief of Taylor, who was having some control problems.
Cam Killian did a nice job there and had a little help on the defensive side as well in that inning to stop any further damage. So again, Grant Allbrand going to try to get things going here in the 4th inning.
So Grant Allbrand stands in. He grounded out to first his previous plate appearance tonight. Left-handed batter battles Bell for the first time tonight. First pitch on the way. Checked to swing right down central with a strike. And it is 0-1. Allbrand waits. Here's the next pitch from Bell. Dives low. Gap in left center field, also right center. They're pretty much playing straight away. Big spacious outfield here at Rookser Field. The 1-1 pitch on the way, and Allbrand takes a fastball that tails outside for a ball. 2-1. 7, 8-0 for the Raiders. 2-1 and 1 for the Wildcats here tonight so far as we play here in the 4th. Bell kicks and fires. Allbrand slaps it on the ground to second. Whitehead will scoop it up, throw low, dug out.
Nope.
And it can't be dug out. It's an error on the throw by Whitehead as Allbrand reaches base. Whitehead really didn't set his feet, kind of just slung it over there, and Oxley tried to dig it out.
That's one thing Carter Whitehead has a tendency to do. He'll have a tendency to kind of hold the ball a little too long there and then kind of rushes it there, and by that time, again, that goes as an error.
So Jacob Allbrand stands in. He was hit by a pitch earlier. Wildcats have a base runner here. Here's the pitch to Allbrand. He hits it back to the mound. Bell will throw to second for 1. The relay back to first base. That's 2 for the price of 1. And the Raiders get out of it on a 1-hopper back to Ethan Bell. Montgomery with some nifty footwork out on the bag at second base.
Well, that's just good baseball right there. Ethan Bell knowing what to do once he got the ball and took it to old Reliable there at shortstop, and he cleanly threw it over the first, did Montgomery.
Yeah, he didn't really hesitate. He threw that ball right over the bag and expected Montgomery to be there. Here's the pitch on the way to Noblet. He sprays it foul wide of the bag at third. So 0-1 Noblet so far. He laid down a nice bunt earlier. Or actually bunted and they took it out of the air, I should say. That's a strike right in there. He's down 0-2. And the sun's starting to peek out a little bit here. Lights have been on for a little bit, but it's a great night for baseball with 2 DuBois County combatants. The 0-2 to Noblet. He fouls it off his instep.
I think that sun's basically just out there for decoration, though, Kirk, because it's not warming up one bit.
And, of course, they're predicting doom and gloom tomorrow again and the rest of the weekend. Jasper, they'll play in the Evansville sectional down in 4A against Castle. They're in the bye game on Saturday. Southridge will play against Mitchell a week from this Wednesday at Mitchell in the 2A tournament. The 0-2 pitch. Again, Noblet stays alive, fouls it back into the screen. Well, John Merchant wore that one a little bit, and he'll walk around a bit, and they'll check on him.
Tell you what, we've seen in all levels of baseball, the major leagues and such. I mean, it's a tough game back there being an umpire.
Jared Brosen, we're going to go check out John. Gene Mahangley, Terry Gilbert also checking on his well-being. Again, I mean, you get that direct hit, whether it's a foul ball or a pitch, and up against that mask.
Yep.
It's not cool at all. Catchers get them sometimes too. So Noblet's at the plate here in the bottom of the 4th with 2 away. Jared Brosen went out and checked on him. He looks like he's going to say he's all right. So 0-2. Noblet stands in. Bell gets ready, and here comes the pitch plateward. Low, backhanded by Taylor, and the count is 1-2. Raiders 7, Jasper 2. Here in the bottom half of the fourth inning from Alvin C. Rookser Field. Bell kicks and deals. Noblet fouls it straight back as well. So 2 away, Noblet staying alive in the batter's box. Weidenbender would be next. Bell brings it. Got him. Struck him out. Ethan Bell gets the punch out, and the Wildcats go in order because of the double play earlier in the inning. Through 4, Southridge 7, Wildcats 2. We'll take a break. We'll have more high school baseball after this. Back to Alvin C. Rookser Field. All my umpiring friends are chiming in. They say it does hurt when you get that direct hit against your mouth. You get your face and your gear, and yes, they should know.
Yes, sir.
Connor Oxley stands in here for the Raiders. A big 2 RBI double back in that 6-run third. So the 1-0 to him. Hits it on the ground. Wallace, nice diving play. Wallace picks it up, throws him out on a stretch by Croft. Got him. Nice play by Wallace.
Oh, everything about that is just perfect right there. It's a great dive and gets a ovation or a nice hand from each side there. That was a great play.
Yeah, he was kind of in between hops, and he smothered it after the first hop and able to get up and fire. Here comes Gerber, 1-for-1 with a sacrifice bunt. Takes the first pitch for a strike. 7-2 Raiders here in the top half of the 5th inning. Raiders batted around in the 3rd. Gerber sprays it foul, wide of the bag at first.
Starting to see a few shadows here now.
Wind kicking out toward right center field now even more. So a good night for ball. The 0-2 sets up way outside, and he hit his mitt, but his mitt was on the outside portion of the plate. The 1-2, and he skipped some rope there as the pitch got back to the screen.
Bottom of the lineup here for Southridge.
This one low.
Well, count is full here on Court Gerber.
3-2 with 1 away. Killian drives the next pitch home. Curveball hit foul, third base side. And out of play, 3-2. Cats led after 1, 2-1 before the Raiders again got that 6th spot in the 3rd. Gerber trying to hang tough. The payoff pitch to him. Walked him. So a 1-out base runner. Second walk by Killian, 4th for Wildcat pitching tonight. And that will bring up Joe LaGrange, who flew out earlier.
The right fielder, Joe LaGrange.
Laid down a sacrifice bunt. 1 away. Coach Mattingly threw a set of signs on the coaching line at 3rd. Throw over back in time is Gerber.
Gerber's got some wheels over there at first, so they're going to keep an eye on him.
Joe, left-handed hitter, runner takes off, pitch inside, throw down to second base is off the mark, and they still made the tag. Good play by Weidenbender. The throw was on the first base side of second, and it was high, and he was able to sweep it down and get his man. So a caught stealing there for the second out of the inning. Now it's 1-0 still to LaGrange, and he hits it on the ground to Albrand at second. Grant scoops it up, throws on to Croft, and a quiet inning with the caught stealing for the Raiders here in the top of the 5th. Through 4.5, Southridge 7, the Wildcats 2. We'll have more high school baseball when we return. Back to Alvin C. Rookser Field as we head to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Southridge owns a 7-2 advantage over the Wildcats here. Josh Weidenbender, Eli Hof, and Trevor Croft to hit here. against Ethan Bell. Again, you get to the 5th inning, it gets late, and sometimes as a pitcher and as a defense, you get through a certain part of the order, you might not have to deal with them again if you take care of your business, and that's where the Raider right-hander Ethan Bell is right now. Weidenbender, the leadoff man. Good hitter. Takes a strike, 0-1.
Well, Bell has been really efficient, Kurt, here after coming in for Chase Taylor on the mound.
The 0-1. Weidenbender hits it foul, first base side. And Taylor, will see him, like you said earlier, a lot of relief pitching.
Right.
They gave him a start tonight. And he wasn't going to go a long way anyway.
As you alluded to, the Silver Creek double header tomorrow.
And you got to have him behind the plate.
Yep.
The 0-2 fastball misses outside, or at least catch in one of those games. Usually in a doubleheader, they'll split the catching duties up if you have a good catcher behind him, and Oxley's more than good enough.
Yep.
The 1-2 skips into the dirt, and it's 2-2 to Weidenbender. Again, 6-run third for the Raiders, and they lead 7-2. Have out hit the Wildcats 8-1 so far.
That one hit by Andrew Wallace.
So Weidenbender with a 2-2 count. Bell brings it home, and it's a high fastball that misses, and it's 3-2. One of these situations, if you're Southridge and Bell, only thing that can really hurt you are those base on balls. We found that out earlier.
Yep.
The 3-2. Weidenbender hits it on the ground towards second. Whitehead charges. Shot puts it to first base, one gone. He's going to get rid of that one in a hurry.
Yeah.
He just fired it over there. One away for Eli Hope after the previous ground ball. Eli Hope will stand in.
He is struck out and flied out.
One away here in the home half of the 5th. Ethan Bell stares in. He works out of the windup. Some guys work from the stretch. This one hit down the right field line. That's down near the big tree and down the driveway. And it's 0-1. Kick and the deal from Bell. Misses outside to Hof. 1-1. Gasser even with the bag and off the line at third. He's a good guy at charging in on balls if Hof would drop down a bunt. Here's the pitch, and it's low. 2-1. Play him straight away in the outfield. Bell studies the sign from Taylor and brings the 2-1 home. Swung out and missed. Bottom dropped out of that one. Gerber's back in left, Shank in center, LaGrange in right with Gasser, Montgomery, Whitehead, and Oxley in the infield. Taylor behind the plate. The break-even pitch to Hope here. Lined into center field. Tucker Shank will charge hard, and he'll make the grab. 2 away. Slid at the end for good measure.
Well, really some nice plays out there in the outfield. I know early on here in this one, Joe LaGrange really made some tough plays. It could have gone for extra bases for Jasper early on in this ball game.
Here's Croft. He'll step in. He was victimized by a good Gasser play going off towards his left to cut a ball off. Here's the first pitch to Croft in for a strike. Here's a time of night, though. The sun gets a little nasty on your left fielder, shortstop, third baseman. I saw Montgomery kind of shading his eyes out there at short with his throwing hand. The 0-1 to Croft. Paints another one on the outside black, and it's 0-2. So Croft down in the count. Again, you take care of these guys in order, these first 2 or 3 guys, and it's a good inning for you if you're Bell. The 0-2 to Trevor. Called third strike, same pitch as the last time.
Looking.
And that was a very good pitch by Ethan Bell. Gets his second strikeout. Wildcats go quietly here in the bottom of the 5th through 5, 7-2. Southridge on top. We'll step aside. More baseball coming up after this. Welcome back to Rookser Field. Play goes the top half of the 6th. Carter Whitehead, Tucker Shank, and Camden Gasser 9-1-2 against Cam Killian. Croft started. He went the first 2 2/3. As Whitehead gets in, nice pitch by Cam, in for a strike, and it's 0-1. Whitehead 1 for 2. grounded out and singled. The right-hander Killian brings it home with a curveball, and it misses outside, 1-1. Raiders 7, Jasper 2. So Killian drops the glove and comes home. Chop foul, and there's another one off the foot and knee, ankle. Baseballs are not meant to be hit off body parts.
Oh, really?
Yes. It's a moving baseball, about 75, 80 miles an hour. You foul it off with a big aluminum stick, off a knee that's 6 inches away. The 1-2 offering. Hit foul. BC with a good play down there.
It stopped in front.
Yeah, you're right. It was thick grass got a hold of it. I always say in baseball, you pick up a moving ball with your glove, and if it's stopped, you pick it up with a bare hand. And since he didn't have a glove, he barehanded it. Mm-hmm. And it did stop. You're right. 1-2 now as Whitehead has a word with Gene Mattingly on the coaching line at third. 1-2.
Schenk is on deck.
Killian gets ready to go, and he throws it. Curve ball, hits it on the ground at third. Wallace glad to play off his body for an error, and it's a base runner here for the Raiders to lead things off here.
Just ate him up right there on that one.
So that will bring up Tucker Schenk.
Batting for the Southridge Raiders, the center fielder number 8, Tucker Schenk.
So Tucker Schenk doubled earlier. He scored a couple of runs in the game tonight. Schenk hits it on the ground, could be two. Allbrand over to short for one. The relay back to first base, not in time with Schenk running. You better hurry and turn that quick. And I mean like a snap of a finger if you're going to get Tucker Schenk, who was bussing it down the line.
Batting for the Southridge Raiders.
So one away, fielder's choice. Schenk is aboard at first base, erased his Whitehead, and here comes Gasser, who is 1 for 3 with an RBI single. So Gasser at the plate. Killian will come home. Wide of the bag at first. 7-2 Raiders on top. Again, 6 runs in the third inning for Southridge after they were trailing 2-1 after 1. Killian slings it over there. Back is Schenk. Didn't have a really good base-stealing lead. See if the Raiders want to run here. They are up 5 and try to put some pressure on the defense. Gasser jumps out of the way of that one. Peter blocks it, throws down to first base. Schenk got in on the back side of that base.
Peter, just a sophomore, does a nice job back there.
Trying to find a catcher. Southridge has found theirs. They did last year. They'll have him for a while. The 1-1 Schenk off and running. Gasser fouls it off. A little hit and run, and it's 1-2 to the Raider third baseman, Camden Gasser. So Schenk retreats back to first base. So Gasser taps the plate. Montgomery lurks on deck. The 1-2. Killian again steps off the Rookser Field mound, or the rubber portion of the mound. Now he's back on the 1-2. Inside to Gasser. The count squares at 2-2. Croft holds on the runner, the 2-2. Gasser swings one inside, slow roller to Allbrand. He's got one play, and that's to first base. As the ball got caught up in the grass, and up to second base is Schenk. He's in scoring position for Colson Montgomery, who has walked 3 times. First base is open this time as well.
I'm sure that's what Peter has went to the pitcher's mound to tell his pitcher, that there is an open base. They already walked him 3 times.
Taylor's on deck. Raiders lead 7-2. About hit the Cats 8-1. Top of the 6th inning. So Montgomery at the plate. Breaking ball hits it a mile high. Got under it. Allbrand out about 10 feet in right field. And Grant will make the catch for the 3rd out of the inning as Montgomery flies to short right field. Raiders don't score here in the top half of the sixth. We'll head to the home sixth. Southridge 7, Jasper 2. We'll take a break and we'll come back after this. We'll head to the home sixth, 7-2. Wildcats trail Southridge. Ethan Bell, the second pitcher of the ball game for the Raiders, out loosening up on the Rooksor Field mound as the Cats will send Wallace, Stamm, and Killian to the plate, or Killian's spot in the order. Last time he did bat for himself.
The bottom half of the sixth inning for the Jasper Wildcats, the third baseman, number 18, Andrew Wallace.
So Wallace steps in. He's 1 for 1 with a walk. As Scott mentioned earlier, he owns the lone Wildcat hit of the night. Bell will deal it to him. Takes a high fastball.
Well, this will be a big test here for Ethan Bell to get these next few hitters here.
Did a nice job retiring the first 3 guys in the order last inning. This one popped into center. Shank will break back, now come in. And it's an easy play as he high points it for the first out of the inning. And Carter Stamm will step in.
Batting for Jasper, number 5, Carter Stamm.
Stamm will get in. He has flown out to center and walked. Bell will kick and deal. Got in on him and fouled it off. A defensive swing by Stamm. And it is 0-1 to the Wildcat left fielder now. Plays all around, pitches. Again, had that good outing against Lincoln on Wednesday night of this week. 0-1 count. Bell, side saddle out on the mound, and will bring it plateward. Slings it in there. It's a ball. 1-1. Again, that sun is about that time now here at Rooksor Field, 7:30. 7:38 to be exact, but you'll get it if you're a left fielder, third baseman, shortstop. Stamm hits it on the ground in the hole. Montgomery up with it. Strong peg to first base. Got him by a half step. Stamm, give him credit for hustling down the line, but Montgomery uncorked a missile over there.
He's just a vacuum over there, just a humble kid.
So 2 away for a hitter in Grant Stratton, who pitched the other night. He got his first varsity start as a sophomore against Gibson Southern. Cats won 10-0. Like, talked about that last night with Carter Whitehead getting his first start when the coach tells you you're in the lineup on your first day with the varsity. And that's what happened with Stratton the other night. They brought him up, and about an hour before the game gave him the ball. Said, you're on the hill. Okay, take it and go. First pitch to Stratton, in for a strike, 0-1. Both these teams rely on their JV coaches to give them good reports of what they've done so far in the JV season, and they need to bring a guy up. They're not hesitant to do that. 0-2 to Stratton. He's down in the count to Ethan Bell. Bell trying for another 3-up, 3-down inning. Couple of sophomores going at it here. Stratton lines it into the right center field gap. It's going to hang up, though, for Joe LaGrange. And a quiet inning for the Wildcat Bats here in the bottom half of the 6th inning through 6 complete here at Alvin C. Southridge 7. The Wildcats 2 will have more after this. Alvin C. Rooksor Field, a new pitcher on the hill for the Wildcats as Grant Stratton will come on as he pinch hit in that spot in the order. Stratton in relief of Killian, who was in relief of Croft. Killian 2 1/3 of no run, 2 walk, and a strikeout outing for him. So Stratton went 5 innings against Gibson Southern, 4 hits and a run. And that Gibson Southern team, they lost the Cats 10-0. Then the next night beat Castle, shut Castle out 4-0. Yep. Saw the Castle staff here, Kurt Welch, and a couple of his crew as they play Jasper in their opening sectional game in the bye game on that Saturday the 25th.
It'll be Taylor, Bell, and Oxley to get things going here in the 7th inning frame for the Raiders.
So Taylor will stand in the cleanup spot. He is 2 for 3. Struck out his first time up against Croft, but then singled home a run and had a single, tried to stretch it into a double situation, but the Wildcats cut him down. But he's credited with a hit, so Stratton will come in. Curve ball, nice one. It's in for a strike. Dropped a hammer on him. And it is 0-1 to the Raider catcher. Started the game on the mound. The 0-1 again, breaking ball.
Way ahead.
Taylor took a big, healthy cut and came up empty. Now here's the real game. Will we throw him another one? He did. Swung on and missed.
And basically the same result.
So 3 straight breaking balls. And that's, you're dialing up for a fastball from Killian all night and Croft, and then somebody comes in like that, a little change of pace is always tough. So here comes Bell. Here's the pitch. Stratton dots the outside corner, 0-1. And the runs came in bunches in this one. The 0-1 curveball. 1 for the Raiders, the top half of the first inning. Jasper on 4 walks and an error scored 2, and then the Raiders a 6th spot in the third. Here's the pitch from Stratton, hit on the ground, 1 hopper to Wallace. He picks it up, pats the glove, throws on, gets Bell by half a step. 2 away here in the top of the 7th inning. Due up for the Cats will be the bottom third of their order in the 7th inning.
Raiders, number 5, Connor Oxley.
Here comes Connor Oxley, doubled home a couple. And then Wallace took a hit away from him by cutting one off earlier in his last at bat. Grant Stratton comes home. Another breaking ball that dives inside.
Stratton doing a nice job of mixing his pitches up, that's for sure.
It's the key to pitching, and he's doing that so far, especially when you don't really throw that hard, and threw it by Oxley there.
Just keeps you guessing. That's the name of the game.
It really does. 1-1 the count. He'll work out of the windup with 2 away. Here's the next pitch. Oxley swings a breaking ball. (7-2) Raiders on top. They hope it's their last at bat. Stratton ahead in the count. Grant will throw it. And bounces into the dirt on strike 3, and Peter can't find the ball, and it's a strikeout, and the runner is aboard at first base. That's about the best thing can happen for the Raiders as Stratton was dealing.
Yep.
And here comes Court Gerber, the left fielder. Ball was like back of the screen, and Peter didn't really know where it was, and that's where your infielders got to communicate with you, tell you exactly where it is. You've got that mask on, you whip it off as fast as possible, but not always easy to find the ball. Pitch from Stratton is low, 1-0. Raiders on top 7-2 here in the top of the 7th inning. Here's the pitch from Stratton. Chopped up the third base line, foul. Again, Raiders will go to Silver Creek tomorrow. Jasper will be at Mater Day at Bosse Field on Monday. Silver Creek, always a good team. They've come to Southridge several times. Now the Raiders go down there for a pair tomorrow. Good old-fashioned doubleheader. They throw over and nearly had him leaning.
Yeah, they did have him leaning, but the throw was high, and Trevor Croft had to bring the ball down, so he was able to get back under.
1-1 pitch. Good pitch by Stratton inside corner for a strike. And it's 1-2.
Yeah, inside corner, right at the numbers. Tough to swing at.
Here's the 1-2 offering. Waited back on it and fouled it off over the Raider dugout. He did recognize curveball and tried to keep his hands back and got a little piece of it. 1-2 now and holding. So with 2 away, the runner's at first base. He'll be off with the crack of the bat. Chilly night for baseball. The 1-2 low. 2-2. Runner at first base. We'll see if he's off here. 2-2. So the hitter Gerber, left-handed batter. waved at a pitch up above his eyes. He goes down swinging. Stratton with 3 strikeouts in the inning. Raiders get a base runner, but they do not push him around. Last call for the Wildcats. We'll head to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Southridge 7, Raiders 2. We'll take a break and come back after this. We head to the home half of the 7th inning here on WBDC. The Wildcats last at bats. They trail 7-2. They've been one hit by Taylor and Ethan Bell. Bell gave up the lone hit to Wallace back in the 3rd. Cats led after 1, 2-1. After Jacob Albrand was hit in the 2nd inning as Albrand takes it low. That's when Gene Magley went out and got Taylor and brought in Bell, who stands to be the winner. Ethan throws the 1-0 to Albrand. Strike at the knees right down central, and it's 1-1. Play him slightly to pull in the outfield. Shank now straightens up behind the second base bag. High fastball. 2-1. Raiders beat the Wildcats last year. They had that walk-off, a 2-1 ball game that was very exciting at League Stadium. Albrand slams it into left field. He goes the other way to start the 7th.
Well, it's been a while from their first hit to that hit right there, but Jasper will take it. Try to get something going here on Bell.
Oh, Jacob Albrand will stand in. Get it back a little bit of it at a time. Raiders, again, looking for that ground ball. Bell slings one over. Oxley applies the late tag. 7-2 Wildcats trail here as they bat here in the home 7th. Bell trying to shut it down along with the rest of that Raider defense. Again, Montgomery really having a hard time with that sun. Fastball pumped in for a strike, and it's 0-1. So Southridge defense trying to nail it down. Next pitch, big swing. He comes up empty. Oh, and 2 to the Wildcat right fielder. His cousin Grant over at first after singling to left. Oxley holds him on the 0-2. Bell, fastball misses outside. Raider fans wanted that one, but I think we had a pretty good angle. Yep. It was in the left-handed batter's box.
You're right. Montgomery really fighting that sun.
He's just hoping it's on the ground, not at his teeth.
Yeah.
The 1-2. Albrand squibs it foul over the Wildcat dugout.
Pleading over there, somebody bring me out a pair of glasses.
Yeah, and now it's a weird angle. It is shifted towards like over the top of the press box where the left fielder, it's not really his problem anymore.
Yep.
The 1-2 to Jacob Albrand. Called third strike outside corner. That was a good one. You can see that one from here.
Beauty
Bell
pitch.
has done that a lot tonight. He's got a lot of guys looking, and sometimes that's really a key to see if a guy's on or not. Here comes Philip Noblet. Bell, again, would get the victory with 6 innings of baseball here. It's coming on in the 2nd with nobody out. Ethan Bell brings it home. He's established himself as the ace of the staff, whether it be in a starting role or in relief as a sophomore. 1-0 runner at first base. Oxley holds on the runner Albrand. Here's the pitch to Phillip, and it's in for a strike at the knees. 1-1. Raiders could end it with a double play. Ballcats trying to fend him off. Here comes the pitch to Noblet from Bell. Hit up the middle. This could be 2. Montgomery over to second for 1. Relay back to first base. Not in time. Slow roller, not a prototypical double play ball. They did get the lead runner. It got caught up in the grass, and pretty good execution on the turn by Whitehead, but not enough to get a hustling Noblet.
Well, it does bring it to the top of the lineup for Jasper.
With 2 away, the last hope for the Wildcats is Josh Weidenbender here. Weidenbender 0 for 2 with a walk. Cats have won 3 straight here heading into this game tonight.
Ooh, close play
Throw
there.
over, back in time, the base runner. They lost last on Friday night of last week to Edgewood, who was really good, the number 1 team in 3A. Here's the pitch to Weidenbender. Strike right down central. 0-1 now. Runner at first base. Raiders trying to lock it down. Ethan Bell stares in, now peeks over his shoulder and will drive the 0-1 plateward. Fastball misses outside. Big crowd on hand, and as I said earlier, blankets and jackets and hoods and winter caps. 1-1. It's never like this at the football game, so I wouldn't call it football season because it's usually at the end of August.
Yep.
It's about 95. Weidenbender takes a fastball inside corner, and it's 1-2.
And next week it'll be short shorts and tank tops.
We can only hope, depending on who's wearing that.
Yeah.
You or I know. 1-2 to Weidenbender. Lines it into left field for a base hit. The Wildcats stay alive. First and second with 2 outs for Eli Hof.
Well, trying to string something together here, and that's definitely what it takes for the Cats here. Eli Hof wants to keep it going even further.
Raiders lead 7-2. Again, third hit of the game for the Cats. 2 here in the last couple of batters. Eli Hof will get in. He hit it sharply to center. The Tucker Shank came in and made a sliding catch on earlier. Here's the pitch from Bell. Fastball pumped in for a strike, and it's 0-1. First and second for the Cats here in the home 7th here at Rookser Field. Game approaching an hour and 55 minutes. Bell will come to the pause and bring it home. This one pops straight back right over our heads. And it's 0-2 to Eli Hof. Again, Raiders tomorrow at Silver Creek, a noon start for that twin bill. Jasper goes to Mater Dei to take on Coach Ricketts and the Wildcats of Mater Dei. The 0-2 here. Fouls it off, stays alive, does Eli Hof, swung a pitch over his head. 0-2.
Well, pitchers count right here. See what Bell delivers.
0-2. Hof at the plate. Here's the pitch from Bell. Ball punched out towards short. Montgomery dives, and this one's over. Hof tried to keep it alive, and he hit it right to Montgomery, took it out of the air, and the Raiders pick up a 7-2 win over the Jasper Wildcats here tonight at Alvin C. Rookser Field. 7-2 our final score here tonight. 7 runs, 8 hits, and an error for the Raiders. 2-3-2 for Southridge. Raiders 13-4. The Cats are 18-4 on the season. That'll wrap up our coverage here on 18 WJTS. For Jeremy Marcos, I'm Kurt Guxel. Good night on 18 WJTS. When we come back, we'll have our WBDC post-game show.